Lakeside Radio.
Farmers around the country will part with at least 5 shillings for every 100 shillings they make in new radical revenue-raising proposals by the Kenya Kwanza administration. The President William Ruto administration reckons its newly published proposals for expanding the tax base among farmers are timely, as according to it, farmers have not been paying their fair share of taxes. And I quote, "The government will introduce a withholding tax on agricultural produce, which will be a final tax at a rate not more than 5% of the value of the produce delivered to the cooperatives or other organized groups," says Treasury. The latest tax proposal by the Ruto administration has rattled farmers and farm groups at a time when additional taxes imposed by the government are stoking tensions amid the high cost of living.
Everybody first must pay tax. Yeah, let's begin there. This is not the animal farm, where some animals are more equal than others. This is Kenya. We are all equal. Everybody pays their portion of the tax. And number two, we are going to make sure that more people come into the space where they work with government to pay tax.
Smallholder tea farmers affiliated to the Kenya Tea Development Agency Limited, KTDA, for instance, earned a total of 67.7 billion shillings for the financial year ending June 30, 2023. This included a bonus payout amounting to 44.15 billion shillings and 23.55 billion shillings as monthly pay for green leaf supplied to the 54 KTDA factories, bringing the total earnings to 67.7 billion shillings for the financial year ending June 30, 2023. Under the new farmers' levy, the government would have taken 3.38 billion shillings, 5%, eating into the KTDA-affiliated tea farmers' meager earnings. The Uhuru-backed Brookside Dairy disclosed it paid 1 billion shillings to farmers for milk deliveries in MT Kenya last year. The taxman would have demanded 50 million shillings as his pound of flesh under these Brookside payments, eating into farmers' earnings. And I quote, "How do you collect taxes on poor farmers and go to use lavishly on things like choppers," said Kip Menjo, a director at Kenya Farmers Association, on the proposed tax. Mr. Menjo said it would be ideal to support the fledgling agriculture sector to recover fully fast before planning on more taxation.
Tuko na orodha ya kila mkulima na anafanya biashara gani na anafanya kilimo gani, anahitaji mbegu aina gani, anahitaji mbolea aina gani, ndio tuweze kuzalisha chakula katika Kenya hii.
With inflation driven by rising prices for food, energy, and other consumer goods remaining a major headache for consumers and the Ruto administration, farmers groups and experts have instead called on the government to increase support to farmers. Such a tax would make Kenya's agricultural production less competitive compared to regional neighbors and eventually make the cost of final produce costlier than imports, said Dr. Timothy Njagi, a food security expert and veteran development economist. Ruto government admits that farmers encounter unique challenges, including being weather-dependent, perishability of the produce, the subsistence nature of the sector, and inadequate tax literacy by the players of the sector, which makes the taxation of this sector difficult. It, however, reckons that the sector is highly informal, cash-based, and characterized by the notion that the incomes generated from them be taxed. According to the Treasury, therefore, there is a need to intensify taxpayer education to ensure that farmers understand their role in nation building and the need to pay taxes. And I quote, "The Kenyan economy remains highly dependent on the agriculture sector, which contributed an average of 21.2% of the GDP in 2022 and has the highest employment multiplier in the economy," says the National Treasury. The quote continues, "Despite this, the sector's contribution to tax revenue is less than 3%, indicating that the sector is undertaxed." Experts add there are numerous strategies available to the Kenya Kwanza government to end food insecurity. These include increasing investment in agricultural research, revamp of extension systems, and helping farmers leverage on technology to increase productivity and reduce production costs, according to Dr. Njeji of Egerton University Food Security Think Tank Tijimio Institute.
Lakeside Radio.
For more and comprehensive updates, press the YouTube subscribe button above and enjoy. Remember to press the bell button for notifications whenever we post.
Duond Oganda.